Today, we're introducing a new kind of world, a world where every idea has a voice. Wondercraft. Let's see how this works in voicing an ad. Bring your idea to life by providing key info about the spec, such as duration, target medium, audience, and key message. Wondercraft will then craft and voice your copy.
This episode is brought to you by Urban Meal Kit.
But don't just stick to one voice. Browse the library of hyper-realistic voices, or clone your own to give the magic a personal feel.
This episode is brought to you by Urban Meal Kit.
And there is so much more you can do. Create a daily news podcast from a list of articles. Turn your blog or newsletter into a podcast. Get that first audiobook. Craft your own meditation. There's a ton more for you to explore. And if you just want your content in another language, no es un problema.
And what a privilege it is to have Oscar Saranda join us now. He's the co-founder, CEO of Wondercraft. Following 20 years in pioneering media consumer technology from Sweden to Silicon Valley and New York City, he joined Spotify early in 2009, brought it to Europe and eventually the USA. He's worked at tech startup Quixie. He developed new media business at iHeartMedia, and then 6 years with Acast as the chief operating officer before starting Wondercraft. I can't wait to get into this with you, Oscar. While we just got a taste from the video, tell us in your words, what is Wondercraft exactly?
Thank you, Jared. Wondercraft is an amazingly easy-to-use audio production tool that helps people produce any type of spoken audio content in any language and just by typing. So we leverage generative AI and many LLMs to help you write scripts for editorial content and advertising, voice that script and mix it all together with music for a really nice listening experience. And all this happens in a very simple web app that serves both beginners as well as professionals. So solo creators out there anywhere in the world, as well as large corporations that we're starting to work with now.
Yeah, wonderful. So tell me, with your extensive background at the Spotifys and the iHearts and the Acasts of the world, what made you pursue an audio production platform and what problem are you actually solving here?
Yeah, so as you can hear from my bio, I've had this long-standing love affair with audio, and I believe it's still today in 2024 greatly undervalued. I don't think that's any surprise to anyone in the room today, that if you compare the number of advertisers and just spend levels to actual consumption of audio, it's quite undervalued still. And I want to change that by way of making audio easier, faster, more fun to work with. Visual productions is in many ways more straightforward, and there are fantastic tools and apps to get the job done with film and videos and visual design and advertising. But in audio, there are really only Pro Tools that are a huge barrier for entry for both new voices to enter audio, and more importantly, perhaps advertisers for radio and for podcasting, etc., that are underwriting the whole industry. And I really want to create something that invites them in to create a more thriving audio ecosystem, if you will. So the short answer is here, we're trying to solve a money problem for the audio industry.
I love that. Now, you picked up a moment ago on the fact that radio and podcast, this tool can help us, given the fact that that's what we do in the room today. Give us some specific use cases that you see for us.
Yeah, so again, the money problem really comes to three different solutions that we are solving for. First one is really volume. I think with production tools that are easy and as easy to work with as visual advertising, for instance, we can invite more brands and advertisers into audio, into radio, into podcasting by way of a very cost-efficient and high-quality production suite, right? The second one is speed. So creating audio ads faster to get those advertisers spending faster and getting them on board and not having to wait so much for production. And the third one is service. So really making it easy to produce and revise ads for advertisers. We're really making it a tool that can help service advertisers way faster to really compete with visual advertising, which I think is what radio and podcasting really is competing with. Primarily Google and Meta, who are owning most of the advertising space out there. You really need to fight on their terms by decreasing the friction for advertisers to come into a space. And the idea with Wondercraft is really to make audio as easy as visual display advertising. We can even turn your website in or a display ad or your billboard ad into an audio ad on our platform, and it takes under 1 minute. We even have a new feature that we're releasing called Parrot Mode that lets you use your microphone on your computer, on your laptop, sitting on a train, wherever you are, and you can direct how you want your AI voices to act and deliver a line. And it really makes it 100% on par with a full studio production. And last is a service. So for radio and podcast businesses, Wondercraft will provide a very cost-efficient tool to create audio for pre-sales pitches. So you can use audio, selling audio, and all the way to spot creation and as many variations as you want to create in one go. We're making it really efficient and enjoyable to work with for businesses to really solve a big money problem and resource problem today.
So I hope you're not afraid to answer a tough question, because there is a lot of fear. There's some uncertainty over AI. You've been very upfront to say that this is an AI solution. People are worried about their jobs being replaced with AI and all of that. What would you say about this fear and uncertainty and the future of AI for us in our industry?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds a question we obviously don't shy away from at all, and we take it very seriously. And I think the whole industry is. There's this great quote by, I'm blanking on the French philosopher now, but a quite contemporary French philosopher that says, and I love this, he goes, when you invent the ship, you also invent the shipwreck, right? So when you invent electricity, you invent electrocution. And I think any technological paradigm shift, and that's really what AI is, we're in the beginning of a quite large, true paradigm shift in technology. There needs to be attention called to that dark side to mitigate risk and prevent as many electrocutions and shipwrecks as we possibly can, right? So we're taking that very serious. But we also need to look at the benefits that AI can bring. The net benefits of AI is huge. I want to call to that attention as well. But my take on what we're doing specifically with generative AI, everyone understands that AI is right now just really extrapolating from the past. It's not creating something new. So AI doesn't replace human creativity or originality. It just gives us the superpowers to be creative and maybe go faster into a creative mode as humans and find solutions to problem faster and cheaper.
So lastly, Oscar, how do we take everything you've just said and put it into an action? So give us one action that we can implement today to help us with our digital transformation.
I think if you're not leaning into this and shying away from it, you might miss out. So I would say use technology like Wondercraft to make yourself and your organization better in the day-to-day to serve customers and build your business by providing quicker, easier, and cheaper, in this case, creative and content, right? There's a great value to be had there for people who are first. So that is my strongest recommendation to everyone in the room today.
Oscar, thank you so much and all the best with your product.
Thank you, Jared. It's been a true pleasure to be with you today.